Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Reborn with Michael Watson. Today, I want to talk about something because I'm getting a lot of messages about people wanting to manifest their special person, SP. Yeah, I had to search that one up in the end. But yes, I want to tell you a wonderful story of how it is literally. This is it. This is the special person video that you've been looking for. Okay. Before I do that, please do like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you find the video helpful. It really helps the video to grow. Also, please join my free Facebook group, The Healing Circle. It's a wonderful group of people. It's about manifestation, healing, manifesting the love of your life. Please join that and let's get that community growing. Let's jump into this video now. I want to tell you a little story. I'm going to tell you the story of how I'm now with the love of my life, married with children, and how I used it also this simple technique to save our marriage before as well. So I just want to talk about firstly the journey to find my SP, my special person. And the reason why I'm telling this story is because it's going to be different from what you expect sometimes. I love the bridge of incidences that we had to cross. I love the journey that that went and happened to make it to where we are now. And I'm forever grateful for it. So this was it. So I want to tell you, firstly, I was someone who was not keen on relationships, serious relationships in my past life, as an actor. But as I started to hit the sort of like 25, 26, 27, I was like, became more serious. So I'd had one or two relationships that were serious, and then the rest were very just unserious, if you know what I'm saying. And so I got to this point where I was dating someone and I was just like, this just isn't, I'm just frustrated that it just isn't the person for me. I'm just drawn to these short-term things. And so one day it was about using all the same techniques of faith, trust, and expectancy. But also sometimes it's about making a definite claim, actually speaking something out loud. And I will tell you, I was sitting in my flat in London at the time, sitting there alone. And I got to this point where I was like, do you know what? I have had enough. And many of you are watching this who have got your special person in mind. You may know who it is. For me, I'll give you some background in a minute, but I'd forgotten who that was meant to be. So I didn't have anything definite in my mind. So I just claimed out to the universe. I said, do you know what, universe? At the time, I was highly into the word universe. Now it would be divine. God, divine, Do you know what, God? I've had enough. I obviously am not looking in the right areas to find the one that I'm going to be with. You bring me who I'm meant to be with now. And I trust this in divine order and divine time. I'm willing to let go. I was just so willing to let go. I was so willing to stop the effort of it, to stop thinking that I knew best, So what I did was, I'm just going to give you some background after I've told you the story instead. So I just started to carry on through my life. I'd made such an intention out there, but I'd forgotten about it. I'd let go of like the need for it to be fulfilled because I'd made the intent. See, this is important in manifestation. You must release it. You must let go. It's time now to walk into life. You do not need to know about your intention 24/7, right? So you're carrying on through life. Well, put it this way. Many, many years before this, I was working on a show called Jersey Boys. I was playing the lead character in it, Frankie Valli. And I worked with a beautiful woman who happened to be in a relationship. Now, as she walked into the rehearsal room, I said, my friend had already told me that there was someone I was going to be working with. He said, don't flirt with her because she's with my mate. And so when she walked in, I was going, please don't be her, please don't be her, please don't be her. Guess what? She was the one in the relationship. So even though we became close and we could literally feel that there was some level of connection, like deep connection there, we never acted upon it because we were respectful to our relationships that we were in. Anyway, cut a long story short, she left the show and we lost contact. Well, I want to tell you the beautifulness of how the divine works. I stayed in that show another year and a half, and I was walking home one night. I had a best friend growing up, and he happens to be married to her sister by no coincidence and by no connection. But one day, and I hadn't seen him for about 3 years, hadn't really spoken to him properly for about 3 years. I'm walking along and I hear, Michael. I turn round, a car pulls over. He pulls out, James, my good friend, hugging, reminiscing. His now wife, who happens to be my special person's from back in the show's sister. Now, I do not put two and two together because none of us have communicated for years, you know? So I just see that she's pregnant at the time, and I'm like, what is going on? This is mad. Anyway, we connected. Now, just to caravat that, if they had been 1 minute earlier or 1 minute later, I never would have bumped into them. It turns out they live down the road from me. Well, when I say down the road, 10 minutes away. So what happens? We end up spending the whole summer together. Because I finished the show, started to connect with them. We just spent the whole summer together. One of those days, down comes my now wife, Emma. She comes down. And she comes to a barbecue. I see her. The immediate moment of seeing her is like, ding, back to realization that my manifestation is here. I never forget seeing her and just knowing. And that was it then. So, cutting a very long story short, after a while I ask her out to a date. She denies me a couple of times. That's fine. She's not sure. She's, maybe been hurt in the past. That's fine. But anyway, eventually I say to her, look, let's just go on one date. Just see what it's like. We had such a connection. Let's see. We go on the date. I go a bit closer to where she lives because she lives far away. And so what happens is we had the date. That night, after getting her home, I book a hotel and stay in the hotel. I did not leave because I said to her, I can't leave now that I'm with you. And she felt the same. And from that moment, we got married and now we have children. What I want you to know is it took likely about 6 months before I properly connected with her again from making the statement. Do you see the divine timing of it all? Do you know why it's divine? Because she needed to be ready and I needed to be ready to have this long-standing commitment to someone and to be ready to be a parent together and so on and so forth. You must trust in the divine timing of it all. Do not try and make it happen. Now, if you had asked me now, I'm years down the line of being with her. Was 6 months of waiting worth it? 100%. I didn't even realize I was waiting 6 months. I just knew that the time was coming. This is what you must know too. If you know who the special person is as well, when you've been married for 30 years, you won't be concerned if it took you 6 months to manifest them with you. And you do not, I get this all the time, you by no means manipulating anyone by doing it. Why would a divine energy manipulate someone for your needs alone? If there's love in your heart for someone and you're visualizing and expressing that you are together, there has to be a spark in their heart too. They will be drawn to you. Trust in it. Trust in your own divine power. Make the statement, let go of the need, and trust in your own divine power and timing. I'll see you at the next one, guys. Thank you.